to move on from that, so we started talking about perfect brackets because that's the Kessin. Everybody wants to have a perfect bracket. Everybody wants to win their family pool, their office pool. So, us, we're doing statistics. We're going to look at the numbers because we view this as a numbers game, right? When we do financial plans, we say, hey, we work in probabilities, not in I guess, opinions. Everybody's going to have an opinion.
Right.
Most aren't, whether they're good or not, it doesn't matter. But if we can get to the probability stage. So, Elias, what are the odds of actually filling out a perfect bracket? And I want you to explain this to the listeners and the people that are watching in human numbers. But go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So the odds are absurd of getting a perfect bracket. There's more. It's estimated that we have more grains of sand on Earth than the odds of getting a perfect bracket. So without overcomplicating it, it's 1 in 9.2 quintillion. So I think probably every year I think to myself, oh, I just learned a new number, quintillion, but I probably relearn it every time March Madness comes out. So here's the order: million, billion, trillion, quadrillion, and then quintillion. And it's 2 to the 63rd power. So it's you're not going to fill out a perfect bracket. Yes, it could happen. Probably not going to happen. And then according to the NCAA.com, the record for the most games picked correctly is 55. And actually it's happened 8 different times. It happened 8 times in 1 year. So 55 out of 63 is the best score. And then the longest perfect bracket streak, a guy named Greg Nigel, he got 49 games in a row. So he was perfect up until the second game of the Sweet 16 in 2019.
But how did he end up?
So that's
think this through. He picked the first 49 games perfect.
Yeah.
Where did he end up the race? Because this is how we're going to kind of equate this to how NCAA and March Madness equate to finances in your financial world and your financial plan, these different things. Where did he end up?
Yeah, so this is where this gets crazy because he got a plaque for setting the record. So this was a big deal, 49 in a row. But 8 people got 55 games right that year, and he got 54 right. He didn't even finish in the top 200,000 of the bracket challenge.
Do you know what the total entries were?
No, I don't know total entries, but he got over 200,000th place with 54 correct. So
yeah. He got beat by one game.
And he's one of the better performers, so there's a lot of people doing it.
So he got beat by one game. He just didn't pick the right games, right?
Yeah, because he's perfect through the 49, but the way these are scored, you're better off losing in the first and second round and picking the champion right, picking the Final Four right, because it's like a weighted scoring. So as you get further in the tournament, so the championship game is worth the most points. If you pick the champion, that's the highest scoring value pick in the bracket challenge.
So here's our tip on brackets, right? Don't stress the early games because someone picked 49 games correct and he didn't win. So people go out there and we all fall in love with the Cinderella. We want to say, hey, I'm going to be a hero and I'm going to pick the 16 to knock off a 1. Most of the time, you're better off rolling with the schools that have the best chance to get to the Elite Eight, the Final Four, and win the championship.